Okay, I believe now we have enough paparazzi to have some fun. So welcome on AppExchange. What does it take to publish your first app? My name is Jakub Stefaniak. I'm Salesforce Certified Technical Architect and VP of Technology Strategy and Innovation at Akiva Labs, one of expert PDO partners when, frankly speaking, we build AppExchange apps for ISVs all the time. We are doing consulting for ISVs, so AppExchange is what I'm doing for a living from quite some time. And I'm here today because when I was finishing my studies in computer science, I read a few books. One of them was pretty nice and inspiring. It was Get Smart and Get Things Done by Joel Spolsky. And let's read this quote together. Internal, in-house software is rarely important enough to justify hiring rock stars. That's why the most satisfying careers, if you are a software developer, are at actual software companies, not doing IT for some banks. In context of Salesforce ecosystem, it's exactly the reason why AppExchange is maybe not the easiest place to be, but the most interesting and the most rewarding career path for a Salesforce developer. So I just finished the studies. I had a bunch of ideas how to build awesome products, be rich, and have fancy life. But then, when I started reading how to publish first application app about AppExchange, I found that Salesforce asks about business plans, and I have to sign some contracts, and they ask me about GTM, and I have no idea what is this acronym. So when I was like 25 years old, it was so complex, so like bureaucratic, and I just put all my ideas on hold. For a few years, I decided that, okay, it's probably better to work for somebody else. And then slowly, when I was working on apps of different companies, I've seen that it looks like a mess at the beginning, but it's not so difficult. And I can promise you that today, during the next 25 minutes, we can go together through all steps necessary to publish the first application, focusing on how much time, skills, and money do you have to invest to build your first app. We are going to speak why it's worth to do it, so what are the benefits available to AppExchange partners, and last but not least, what you can do with all this new experience and knowledge. Starting from the process. The first step, you have to go to partner.salesforce.com and click Become a Partner. So far, so good, right? To officially register, you need to have a legal entity. So you literally have to have a company. In many countries, opening self-employment company is rather straightforward. I know that in some countries, it's quite difficult. So if you have work contract and you think that it's a blocker, I'm not going to give you any specific advice, but please Google it. There are some quite exotic places on Caribbean Sea, next to Hong Kong, Singapore. You will find a place in the world when opening a company totally online, it's legal, it's easy, and it's good enough to become a Salesforce partner. The next step, business plan. You have to explain Salesforce why you want to be AppExchange partner, and what kind of the problems do you want to solve via your app? So who is going to use this application? If you are going to publish a free application, business plan seems quite obvious. No income, no business plan, right? Not so easy. You can spend lots of time on building a nice free package just to hear from Salesforce later that they are not interested to have it on their AppExchange marketplace. So submitting business plan in advance can save you some pain and some frustration afterwards. If you don't have yet idea how to build a simple app, you can go to Salesforce Idea Exchange, great place when people are posting their pains, their struggles, asking, hey, maybe somebody can solve this problem. Or even like Dreamforce, there are even literally a board when attendees are posting their ideas, then Salesforce team is copying and posting it online. So again, pretty nice place to get inspired. And frankly speaking, it's how I one day came to my private AppExchange package idea. That time for one legacy org, I had to debug formula fields. It was a total mess. I hope that somebody solved this problem already, so I Googled it. I found only people posting and giving points for idea. It would be nice if somebody can do something with this. So I built up literally in a few afternoons and one weekend, which helped to solve these problems. Now it's a little bit more fancy. I'm using it for different research and development purpose. So like now it's integrated with AI to use like OpenAI API to get some insights, but like the MVP app version was super simple. Two more examples of simple apps. Knowledge article to PDF. Colleague of mine built this app, I make code review. Believe me, it's one button, one Apex controller, one unit test. The crazy story, he's charging for this $5K per year, and he has some paying customers. So like by having one super small use case, you can already generate on AppExchange some revenue. Another example, local time, the application which helps you to do not make calls to your leads and contacts at 2 a.m. of their time. It just takes the address of the contact, the current time in your time zone, calculate difference, and give you a hint that probably this person is not going to appreciate your call. Again, super small feature, generating already some reasonable revenue. If you want to build something bigger, and it's what I see lots of the time, that software developers always want to start big, have like big dreams and so on, I encourage you to stop. But generally, as engineers, we have tendency to building complex, very interesting products, but it's easy to build something what is interesting for us and not solving any real problems. There are a few frameworks which can help you with this. It's quite complex topic. Probably reading one book about area is not going to give you good insights, but there are pretty nice courses about design thinking. So usually it's like 2 or 3 months when on the weekly basis you have some content, some assessment, and after 3 months you can understand that starting small is usually a good approach. This one which you have on the QR code is available for free, so if you have already big plans, worth to take a look on this. But going back to the AppExchange, you submitted your business plan. After a few weeks, Salesforce approved it, so we are start speaking about building the application. And as we all know, building application is not so easy, and I have only 25 minutes, so I'm not going to speak about it, but I have for you a QR code. Michael Holt from Salesforce ISV team built awesome workbook with information about all Salesforce-specific technologies like namespaces, packages, and so on, which you can apply to your current experience to build first managed package. Very good content, strongly recommended. If you are not developer, I have for you another QR code. Please educate yourself about product development outsources programs. Long story short, Salesforce has a special type of consulting companies which help ISVs to build managed packages. The worst what you can do is to go to your local consulting partner and ask them to build your first app. They can do it for you. It's going maybe be their first application in their life, so they will be more than happy to learn how to do it. What are the pitfalls? After 2 or 3 years, if your app is successful, these early mistakes can be a blocker in your scaling and growing the application. Plus, by going to a company who is specialized in building AppExchange apps, it can be faster, you can get better quality, and it can be sometimes even cheaper. So generally, don't take it for granted, just learn why Salesforce created PDO program, because it can save you some pain. Regardless who built the app, then the next step is to pass security review. And there are many stories about this process, like, big dragon bees which you have to fight at the end. It's not so bad, but to verify that your application is secure, Salesforce needs your help. And to make it happen, first thing, you must provide them end-to-end test environment where they can test your application. If you have some external system connected, they won't as well test this external application. You must provide documentation about your product, and you must as well make some pre-steps. So use some automatic code scans to verify do you have vulnerabilities in your apps. The good thing is that the security review process is pretty well documented on Trailhead. So you can go through the Trailhead modules to understand how exactly it works, what are the expectations. I would encourage you to start in this place, because if you firstly build the app and then try to make it secure, you may find that you have to change quite a lot of things in your code base. So just to do it right from the beginning is going to make your life much, much easier. So OK, when you are ready to submit the application, a few artifacts which you have to prepare is like solution architecture documentation. The security scans results. So literally, there are like Salesforce scanners and check marks helping you to understand is your code safe, and if there are some potential vulnerabilities. So this automatics can find, for example, that you use system mode instead of the user permission in some features, and you believe that it should be like that because by design it should be done in the system mode, then you prepare false positive documentation. So like explanation for the reviewer why something which can be considered as vulnerability in context of your application is not a real problem and it should be fine like that. So literally your purpose here is to help the reviewer understand why your application is secure. In terms of the budget and timeline, if you are building free application, security review is for free. For commercial products, you pay $1,000 per attempt, and ISVs on average need 2.1 attempts to pass security review. In terms of the timeline, at the beginning, your application is going to go to a queue when review team verify, do they have access to test environment, did you submit the right documentation, and so on. So after 2 or 3 days, you get notification that everything is okay. Or for example, they cannot log to your sandbox and they're asking you to like fix it. And then you wait, because your app is in the queue, waiting for somebody from Salesforce security team to really test it. Usually it's taking between 4 to 6 weeks. And after this magical time, you get an email. If you are lucky, it looks like that. Congratulations, you become AppExchange partner. It was worth to come here for 25 minutes. If you are not super lucky, but still okay, you get email like that. You fail security review because you have 1 or 2 vulnerabilities, and nice explanation. Some JavaScript code in my Lightning Web component, according to Salesforce team, is not secure. They explain why. I can solve it probably in 2 hours. Then I have to, for commercial product, pay another $1,000 and wait another few weeks. So my go-to market is a little bit slower. But looking on this, I'm sure that I'm going to be on AppExchange quite soon. The worst case scenario is something like that. You get like hundreds of vulnerabilities, which means that you have to change lots of code. And doing these changes, probably you will create a new vulnerabilities. So if you have something like that, then it's not about weeks, it's rather about months, and your life is not so happy as it was before you get this email. So you don't want to be in this place. It's why it's worth to think about security from the beginning when you are building something for AppExchange. Last step, making this happy path that you pass security review, is the easiest one. AppExchange listing is a place which you know from AppExchange portal when you can put videos, screenshots, descriptions of your app. The good thing that now after you pass security review, you are already AppExchange partner, so you are not alone anymore. You get some pretty good marketing materials how to make it happen, to make your app look a little bit more fancy. And in few hours, you can like do it on your own or engage with some marketing freelancer. Why it's worth to do it, and what are benefits available to AppExchange partners? The specific of having like this AppExchange app is that you can learn about many things on Trailhead or on ISV documentation, but you cannot generate a Trailhead org with managed package. So there are many things which you can read about, but to get your hands really dirty, you literally have to go through this process at least once. For example, there is pretty nice Apex debugger. You can theoretically have similar tool for your Salesforce org, but it's quite expensive. Not many people are using it. As ISV, you have it for free for your managed package. Salesforce Connect, nice declarative way to integrate external objects to your solution. As well, quite expensive for a normal Salesforce org. For ISV, if you want to expose your data from your AWS instance, you can put it in a package for free. Platform cache, same story. As ISV, you have few megabytes of platform cache, which can improve performance of your application for free. Test Drive and Triforce. They are nice technologies which help you to prove your potential customers that they want to use your app. So you can configure special Salesforce org with read-only mode where people can test your application before installation, or even via Triforce, generate a new Salesforce trial org with installed version of your app, some test records, some local customization. Very powerful features which help people to like make buying decision about your product. You get access to license management app. So as ISV, you immediately know when somebody installs your application. You see how many customers are using specific version of your apps and so on. And you can even use extension to it called feature management app to, for example, gather some information from your end customer orgs or enable or disable some features on these customers in a totally remote way. You can provide support to your customers. So even if I don't have username and password on my customer orgs, I can log in via subscriber console to maybe debug and help them to understand why the application is not working as expected on their specific environment with maybe some local customization. And last but not least, when I make a new version of the application, I can automatically push it via push coverage mechanism to all orgs. And there are many more benefits which you can theoretically read about, but having a real experience with them is like super small niche. And generally having niche skills is a moment to have pretty nice paycheck at the end of the month. So what you can do with all of this? First option, if you decided to build a commercial product, I can only wish you good luck. It's going to be probably fun for the next 10 years of your life, and you will have to learn much more stuff. But if you want, you can come to start working for PDO companies. PDOs providing consulting services for ISVs is exactly place when having like one app like that give you a very strong position to be able to provide a very unique consulting service to ISVs. So like it's a place when we can appreciate this knowledge. Or you can go to start working for ISV partner. I believe in London there are around 100 companies, like ISV companies with headquarters in this part of the world. That's quite a lot of reasonable work. And the truth is that lots of ISVs pass security review at the beginning, and then maybe persons who like prepare it just leave the company. So they have like some developers able to develop code according to security review standards. But after some time, usually after more or less 2 years, Salesforce can ask you to resubmit your application. And 2 years sounds reasonable. In my previous company, it was 7 years. As you can imagine, after 7 years, nobody from initial team was in the company anymore. So this resubmission was quite experienced to all of us. It means that if you know this process end to end, for all these ISVs companies, it's going to be quite serious asset. So today we've spoken mostly about the technical part. I would love to speak about this option when you go with building commercial products. I submit few sessions, but it's so niche that I lost hope that somebody is going to accept it on any conference. So instead of this, I put it on paper, and in the next year, I'm going to have a book about AppExchange Success Blueprint. So if you are thinking about building commercial apps, you can think about this. Meantime, you can just send me an email. I'm more than happy to speak about this and help as I can. But let's wrap it up. What does it take to publish your first application? Clicking this Become a Partner, it's rather easy. I say 1 billable hour because I'm working in a consulting company. The truth is like 5 minutes, right? Business plan, again, if it's free app, relatively straightforward, you can submit it in another hour. The development, if you listen to me, if not, I will repeat, pick small idea. You can do it probably in a few hours, maybe 1 week. Security review preparation, setting test environment, preparing documentation, it should not take more than 1 man day. And then after you pass, preparing the listing, making some screenshots and text via ChatGPT, maybe 2 hours. So if we sum all these numbers, the real work, it's something between 17 to 55 hours, not so bad. And adding all this waiting time, it's between 1 to 3 calendar months. So in Q3 this year, if you want, you can become AppExchange partner. In terms of the investment, if you want to start with building commercial app, it's going to cost you $1,000 per attempt, so on average like 2K. But for free application, everything what I've spoken about is available for free. And long story short, in my personal opinion, it's rather easy. It can be free. It's fun, and it's totally worth this effort. So I just want to encourage you to think about it, and thank you for your attention. And I believe we have time for 1 or 2 questions, if we have any. Yes, please?
So do they check on the idea itself, or
So Idea Exchange is literally a place when people are posting what they would like to happen in the world. And sometimes Salesforce pick these ideas and implement it as part of the product. But some of these ideas are then like from 12 years, have like lots of points, and nothing is going on. So I would say if you see something like that, there is a big chance that if you will product like that, somebody is going to pay for this. And in the case of this knowledge article to PDF, exactly is like this story. Lots of points, lots of people to suffer because it's super simple feature which is just missing in Lightning experience, and is why pretty reasonable revenue came from very simple development.
Yeah, that is very good. My question was, when you submit an idea for the app to Salesforce, actually, like validate whether it's a good idea or not, or they don't care about it?
It's a little bit different. Idea exchange is like the business plan. Sure. So what Salesforce is rather think about is, first of all, do your idea is going to compete with their product. So if you would say that you want to build a cheaper and better version of the Sales Cloud, I don't think they are going to be happy with this. And now that's a tricky part, because after so many acquisitions, Salesforce has lots of products. We don't know all of them. So it's what they are, I hope, checking as part of the business plan. But they are not going to give you a feedback, does your idea make sense? So for example, if you have like idea how to do something super specific to market in Belgium, Salesforce probably has no expertise about Belgium market. So like it's your investment, you are going to spend your money on development, they are not going to stop you from this. Yes?
How does Salesforce Labs fit into this? Is that something different or the same?
Right. So Salesforce Labs is like created by Salesforce employees, where they make free applications which are then available on AppExchange for free. So I would say that Salesforce app is a nice place when you, as the Salesforce customer, are looking for some customization which are not available on part of the package, and there is real chance that one of Salesforce employees worked for this. In the same time, Salesforce Labs applications are always for free as I know. And then, you don't have all this business context related. So if you submit something on the Idea Exchange, chances that somebody from Salesforce will pick it and build Salesforce app project are similar to chances that some freelancer will do it on their own behalf. It's not like connected so strictly.
So, is there a fee for free apps?
No. Luckily, free applications are submitted for free and you do not pay for the attempt. What can happen if you submit an application for free and you would like to change to the paid application? Or if, for example, my application for free has like lots of people using it, even Salesforce reached out to me and suggested that maybe you would like to monetize it, then you have to pay for the another submission to change it to commercial product. But as long as it's free, you do not pay anything. Anything else? Yes?
Is there a way of doing like a freemium model? If so, what's the process around the app submission?
Right. Definitely there is an option to make a freemium model, but if you want to earn any money on your AppExchange package, you submit it as commercial application. And then on the license level, there are many applications which, for example, allow to install with licenses per, for example, up to 5 users for free, then from 5 to 50, $100, from 50 plus, $500, whatever. You have quite lots of flexibility with setting your pricing model, but then for the purpose of everything what is spoken about, you are considered as a commercial AppExchange partner. 3, 2, 1, and thank you one more time.
Hi, I'm Anthony from Deselect. And what is Deselect as a platform? It is essentially a way to enable marketers that use the Salesforce Marketing Cloud to get more out of their data. Deselect serves both non-technical marketers, for instance, those who do not know how to write SQL queries, as well as technical marketers who are very well versed in the platform, but who are looking for ways to be more efficient or who just want to enable their less technical colleagues. Deselect is an official Salesforce Marketing Cloud partner that offers the leading marketing data enablement platform on AppExchange. Fortune 500 leaders and mid-sized businesses leverage Deselect's intuitive solutions to help marketing teams create more powerful segmented audiences, control marketing communication frequency, and achieve faster Marketing Cloud ROI without code or technical dependencies.